in manufacturing or organizations in general, I think even there is a purpose, and that purpose can unify everyone to the core purpose and install that pride in everyone. It was unprecedented, but I think COVID taught a lot of lessons, and India came out really strong.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think no matter what is your role in the organization, whether you are a fitter, whether you are a welder, whether you are a setter on a machine tool, whether you are an inspector, or whether you are a shop floor supervisor, manager, function leader, CEO, each one role is very, very important.
Yeah.
And I remember reading somewhere, I don't know where, but I remember reading somewhere about, so what is your idea about that, and how can this bridge be further reduced?
Yeah, so first is that in any organization, people have different roles, and all roles are important. And anywhere something goes wrong, the whole chain gets affected. So, I think knowing and doing are two different things now.
Right.
Okay, so it's important to know, but parallelly you have to do and practice to this thing. And finally, it is skilling which your skill which makes the difference. And I think in India we have to respect skill a bit more than what we do, or maybe much more than that what we do today. And so that's what it is. And my belief is that we should not be differentiating people in any other aspect, but for maybe compensation, which is why I mean that we have to differentiate, but rest of the things we should not be differentiating. And I've seen, I mean, I'm not talking specific about any company, but I've seen that a company having 5 level of canteens and different food and even different uniform. And I mean, you try to even something which really one will never like to have is like you have at Diwali or Dashera, you give some sweets, and you find that there also you have categories, no? This person will get this sweet, this much weight, and this quality, and this, and then the last with the contractor guy, usko aap 400 gram doge, and all those things. And this is being discussed and negotiated with unions and all those things. I mean, it looks very, very, I mean, these things can be same. I remember a quote from one of our old leader in DCM Toyota, Mr. Avasthi, is no more. And that was when we were not doing well financially, because when the company was started, it was not dependent on import from Japan. I mean, that's the way to go. And then we were supposed to go and face this thing, manufacturing in India, and then become this thing. But dollar to yen and then yen to rupee, or the whole equation just went very, very drastically changed. I remember in 1984 it used to be $1 was 245 yen, and within a span of 4 or 5 years it became 90 or 100. So 2.5 times. So all like that thing. And this was about some salaries and negotiation, some salary time and all those things. You know, when you raise people this thing. And he said the one line that, and this was addressed to a bigger crowd, that willingness to share and ability to share are two different things. So as an organization, our willingness to share will never be less, but ability to share will change. Okay. So there is something like this, no? So I mean, how do you really, and then how do you make them to participate in the work you are doing? How do you give them a feeling that you're partnering in everything. How do you look at their ideas, thoughts, and try to bring it? How do you give them more ownership than check and balance? And I mean, everywhere checks and all those things. So treating all people and getting them totally in the team is what it differentiates. I think that we have to learn from army, no?
Absolutely, absolutely, and having a pride, because pride comes from there. And if you look at, of course, in army, the purpose is the nation, right? And that what I think unifies, no matter what rank somebody is holding. And I think similarly in manufacturing or organizations in general, I think even there is a purpose, and that purpose can unify everyone to the core purpose and install that pride in everyone. And that doesn't require any differentiation. And I'm sure, I think we are progressing towards that. And I think this will not be even talked about, I think, in years to come.
One thing
sure.
which I will add here is that, normally, it doesn't happen now, I think, but it used to happen, is that we always had conversations which were parent to child. When we are talking to a person who is less qualified than us or working at a level different than us, we felt that these are the persons to be always advised for this. We never had this. And you find sometimes very different conflicts. One day, a newspaper, Economic Times, will say that this company is doing exceptionally good, future is great and this thing. And next day, we have some salary negotiation or bonus negotiation with the same set of guy. And we'll try to paint a picture which is very doomy and this thing and this thing. And it doesn't really gel, no? Similarly, so I believe that we should have adult-to-adult conversations with all. We should give them a bad news. We should give them a good news regularly. We should not hide things. One of the things which happens is that when it comes to one way of working and when world changes, new technologies came, new methods come, we have to go for some amount of automation, different ways of doing things. And people have to change their roles and this thing. If we are very open and we are telling what is happening and what's the damage it can cause. I remember in one of meeting where it was trade union leaders and I happened to be there and were very, very senior trade leader. And there was some discussion about, again, I will not name the company. That company has told 1,500 people to leave. And Vijay, how do you feel about it? I mean, I said, I don't know about their situation, but sometimes the business situation becomes so different that if you don't tell 1,500 people to leave, so maybe the other 25,000 people will also be at risk now. I mean, the whole business model changes or something. So a situation may come that no, because of skill sets, maybe because of various reasons, I think it's better to trim down. But only thing what you have to do is when you are trimming down, those people are given due care. I mean, you really protect their future, you really worry for them and find ways to do it and do it in a very, very systematic way without this thing. So situation may demand. So that's this thing also that sometimes you have to change processes, technology. You have to tell them that iski jagah aapko kuch aur kaam karna padega because this work is not there now. Yeah. I mean, when many staff role, supporting roles works are just diminishing because of computers first and then now AI and various ways. No, I mean, you don't need them. So what you have to do is that at right time you have to give them something else to learn and say that please do this, or give them a chance that if you want to this thing, how do we protect your future and all those things. So do take care, but talk adult to adult. I think change comes and people accept that change.
Yeah,
I mean, they should become partner to the change and they should understand the purpose and reason why we are doing it.
Right. And I'm sure everybody, when they explained well, if they communicated well, they're given fair chance to express themselves, I think it will go rather swimmingly than having all those presumptions that what will happen. And this brings to my another question, like in your final years of working at Mahindra, I think we all faced an unprecedented situation of COVID, which nobody could plan for. Very demanding and challenging from all fronts, medical front, people front, business front. So how did you cope personally? How did your team cope? What did you do this time around to change an adversity into opportunity? How did you handle the whole situation?
So COVID was something which really happened bad to anywhere in the world, and really feel sorry for, even I have lost a couple of very close guys during those days, but at the same time I think COVID is something which made India as a country to resolve better, and it made all of us to think differently. Now, to be very frank, COVID happened 22nd March was the day,
Yes.
if I remember.
You're right.
2020?
2020, yes.
When the
lockdown
Prime Minister said that lockdown is started, and then this thing. So, and I mean, while because of IT industry and with other ways of communication, many answers had come, but that was not available to people on shop floors, no, because this thing and everything has to close down, and it closed down at without alarm, no. I mean, so when you close down your factories, you have to close down in a very, very nice way so that when you come back, things are fine. But this happened. So first thing was that the leadership, mainly in operations, have to get involved to see that, I mean, there are trucks on the way which are supposed to reach you. There is machine to got things to be unloaded. There are half-scope things there. There are processes which are running. I mean, paint shop, and if you are in process industry, there are half this thing where you stop and all those things. How do you do that? And how do you get even permission to go there and do this thing? And so some of people decided to stay at location, somehow reach there, and then they say, we are not coming out till this happens. And so later it was, after you absorb and take something, and it was basically helping people. So all Indian great organizations have done very well during that time, the way they behave. First was protecting people who are there with you in any this thing for some time, till we other said, and allowing people to go home, actually making arrangements for going. Fortunately, we were good that we had with our chief medical officer, some couple of years back, we had started one program initiative where for across organization, 5 or 6 parameters, we have brought it on our central system, and so we knew who had BP problem, who had diabetes, and who is that weight problem, and so 5-6 things were there, and so that helped us to really do this thing, and we were using that for improving that. That was one of the matrices we were following, that so many people who are in red because of these things, how much we moved to yellow and how much to green, and this was the leadership following that. So we had that. So first thing was to just make things, how to work to stop everything and this thing. And then after a few days to realize that we have to restart. A couple of things we were able to do was, I remember Mr. Goenka shared from Ford, somebody had come out with the idea of face shield. So he just shared with us that this is a picture and this is what this thing. And there was a time there was a worry that you have to be 6 feet above and all those things. So away and we were really worried that tomorrow, even if we want to start, how do we have lines and processes where people would be this? So we started working on that within, I think, a night or something, and had to request some people to can we join. And the willingness was so much that we had to tell only you came on only few people should come. And those guys who had any problem, they will not come while they were open. And we started at Kandivali making those face shield, requested purchasing to look for that sheet, and then realized that it has to be medical approved this thing, that because it is going to close, then that is stripped and thing. Approach some companies, even some suppliers who were there with us and doing similar thing. That can you do? Everybody was willing, to be very frank. Had to take approvals from local authorities. That we will have people moving and material coming. And that cause was so noble, and so everybody was supporting. Then we started making it. Then we started distributing, and I remember हमने भी थोड़े ही दिए थे. I saw on Twitter a dentist doctor, or she was only doctor or a dentist, with that screen saying that I am able to help my patients using this. And then we started giving it to our own employees, with their families, in the office, security people. Later we started giving to hospital. We kept on increasing quantity. Finally, I made then our other locations started working on it. So there was a time when 9 locations were working. Name any hospital, a big hospital in Mumbai or in country, AIMS, Rishikesh, a hospital in I think even Kerala, everywhere. Police guys we were giving, security guys we were giving. When airlines started this thing, initially airlines we gave, and then people started replicating, and that became this thing. So feel very good that that was something which was started by Mahendra. Okay.
I was of a great help during that time. And as you rightly said, I think it was unprecedented, but I think COVID taught a lot of lessons. And India came out really strong, and giving a really message to the world that in spite of being such a highly populated country, it's such challenging situation like COVID, we could handle it so well. And not only we could handle within ourselves, we are able to help other countries as well. And that was a show of, I think, pure leadership in the world. I think in many ways, COVID has strengthened India's position in many ways, and it gave confidence in the people that you could lead in this world. It's not that you can only follow, you can lead, and you can go to the next level, and with less resources, with less support, you still can manage to go to the next level, which is not so easy. That was a big morale booster, and I think out of everything, that was a positive thing that came up.
So a lot of things happened there was a need to go for ventilators.
Yeah.
I mean, Mahindra leadership always was ready to take challenge, and I think I remember Mr. Anand officially announcing that we will go and try to make something very fast. Their teams got involved, even I was involved in that. But later it was realized that ventilator is something which is not helping COVID guys.
Yeah.
I mean, the theories, I mean, it was, in the beginning it was said, and later even from America this thing came that it is causing more worry, so it was stopped. In between, I remember there was an organization, Saral Designs, which was in sanitary napkins, and these were 4 or 5 IIT guys. There was a lady named Sohani. She was, I think, leading that, and got a call from her through somebody that I think she had a friend in Mahindra that I mean, they were really good in machines, designs for this thing. And she said that we have a couple of machines which are for sanitary napkins, and we have an idea how to convert them into surgical mask.
Right.
And till that time, I think surgical masks were not made in India. Even that fabric was from China and all those things. So we want to do it. So can you help? No, I said, yes, we have. We don't understand what you want, but we have tool rooms and all those things, and team will be. Spoke to guys in tool room, and they said more than happy to get into it. So I said, okay, these guys will come, and the machine was there in Thane. So in night, 12 o'clock or 1, people went there because day it was not possible to go, and looked at it, and then I got a call that we can't do much here, because we need to make some parts and what they are saying. I said, let's do one thing. I mean, I called that lady. I said, Soni, will you be okay if we lift that machine from you and bring it to our plant? And because then we can really, it will be in control. We can try things and all those things. I mean, obviously you have to guide. And she's okay. So night we lifted 2 o'clock. I had a colleague, I mean, even now very good friend, Vijay, very resourceful guy and very this thing. He just said that I will find ways. So approached government employees, and then we lifted that machine, a big machine, brought it here, and then in next, I think 48 hours or 72 hours, that machine was converted to that. Initially it was manual operation. I think they were doing 3,000 masks a day. Then we slowly brought automation in that on critical points, and
Wow.
And finally we made almost 1.2 million masks or even more, and distributed. My belief is that our purchasing or earthing, I think Sohani, that lady, they approached Mafatlal Group for the fabric, because from where to get that fabric, and then they found answer that this is a similar fabric, so that fabric was it. So finally everything became absolutely Indian.
Wow. I think that shows when there's a problem to be solved, what we can achieve. And I think if I look back last 90 minutes of discussion, we discussed, I think, a journey from, say, 50,000 car a year, let's say in 1985, to say 50 lakh cars in...
Yeah, I mean, I think we are at 4 million cars overall.
Right, so around 40 lakh cars, around 80 times in 20, I think, how many years? 40 years? It's a remarkable achievement, and these things, some of the things that we discussed, those have led to achieve this remarkable, significant achievement. And now I think we are exporting as well. I think 6 to 7 lakh cars, what I was reading, that we're exporting as well. So I have a few questions to really understand. Now I want to look towards the future and what is in store for us. So in this all journey, I don't know where was India in 1985 in terms of their ranking in terms of the economic or GDP terms. But today we are standing at 4, right? Fourth economic superpower in the world, with $4.2 trillion economy, just took over Japan, another proud nation. And I think in the last 10 years, we've leapfrogged countries like UK and then France. in Japan, and I am very confident that in next 2 to 3 years we will overtake Germany and will become number 3. And as our honorable Prime Minister has said, a landmark that in 2047 we will be developed nation. So what I want to understand, how do you see the role of manufacturing in that? What do you see?
So, I mean, manufacturing always plays a bigger role, and because number of people you have and how do you employ this thing. And one is that I think we are on the, I mean, everything is going right for us. Obviously, there will be up and downs, there will be some problems coming and all those things. So as long as we take those challenges and don't get unnecessarily worried and drifted, we will achieve where we want to be there. Couple of things. One is that we have to find our own answers, no? Okay. One has to play to strength, and our strength is our number of people we have, number of brains we have, number of herds we have, number of ants we have. So I mean, you have to just see that what makes sense for us, no? And then it has to be inclusive growth, and then we already have pocket of excellence, no?
Yes.
Okay. Only thing is it has to spread, no?
Yes.
And the best thing is that if you have pocket of excellence at two places and in between is the area, to just keep on. So learn from each other, be open to look at new ways. I mean, we took a lot of time to bridge that gap, no? But now it's a time that we just keep pace and get it to this. Our mindset has to change from that we can't be follower always. We have to lead. And I mean, COVID vaccine is an example. Space going to Mars is an example, or that landing at moon. What happened in recent war is an example. There are many examples where
space is a classic example. Our Mars mission was done at the 1/10 of the cost of the equivalent mission in state. So what we could achieve, I think the lack of resources, the lack of capital is not deterrent, because it opens up another opportunity which can lead to achieving something great. So,
and now we have to just take the path and keep on moving. And I'll take one example of I don't know whether you have heard about it, or bamboo tree. So what I learnt is, and I think it was Dravid who shared this, Rahul Dravid, with somewhere he went there, and I heard him saying, and then I just looked at Google or something. So I don't know why they say Chinese bamboo tree. When you plant it, for 4 years nothing happens. I mean, it is on the ground, below the ground, and you don't see anything happening on the surface. And after that, in a space of 6 weeks or something, it becomes 90 feet or 80 feet tall.
wow, I wasn't aware.
Yeah. So what was happening those 4 years was that capabilities were being built because roots were getting strengthened. A lot of things were happening. No, we were preparing for this. If we talk about manufacturing is all about converting resources at the lowest cost and how fast you can do it. No.
Yes.
Okay. And current situation is like T20. No. I mean, products either are successful or it fail. If things change, we have to respond very, very fast. Okay. And that customer orientation and many things are happening. That agility required, the change required, and that comes from engineering enablers which are coming. So today we have engineering enablers, and they are dependent on logic power. No, they are dependent on maths or logics or something. We Indians are very happy that's part of our DNA.
Yes.
That's the reason where we are leading the world.
Right.
Okay, and then you at the, see at, if you go to Chennai and Bangalore, all engineering companies, big engineering companies, including ABBs, I don't know whether they have or no, but even such companies, and all auto companies, I heard even Boeing is coming there. They have their back-end offices with hundreds and thousands of people working.
Right.
Okay, so when we can do it for somebody else, we can do it ourselves. So I think the whole puzzle is getting resolved. We have building blocks. We have best of the institutions. The guys have proven around the world that people coming from these institutions. China taught us that fast is important. Okay, you were saying, Tina, कि slow and steady wins the race. I believe it is. You have to be steady.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can't be slow. You have to be
Fast.
fast and steady with the race. And if you fail fast.
Yes.
So that you try something different. No? So change your ambitions. Believe in people's. And do it now. I think it will happen. We have current leadership companies who are.
I think
I'll make the difference.
as you earlier said, failure is not bad. There is nothing bad in, I think, in thinking about failure. What is bad is not going for something, right? Fail fast. But you're right. The new slogan should be fast and steady will take you to the next level. And I think that is going to happen. And I'm very confident that what you just said, India will command manufacturing in the same way. We will become number one in manufacturing in the world, and manufacturing is what leads to becoming the economic superpower. And India will become the number one economic superpower in the whole world, leapfrogging China and America as well. But what is important? To be practical and realistic and work on the challenges as well. So to that extent, we talked a lot about automotive OEMs and how they have moved and progressed in last 40 years. What has been the role of component supply? Because 90% of the things are done by the component supply. How have you seen them evolving in the last 40, 50 odd years?
Yeah, so I think, finally, it's the team of designers on one side, suppliers on one side, manufacturing guys within the organization on one side, and customer requirement coming from really through marketing guys and sales guys, and then dealer supporting. So it's a joint game.
Yeah.
I feel that there was no way where we are if suppliers would not have participated and taken challenge and moved to the position where they are. If we just look, when you said that 1980s or something, and we were then doing 50,000 cars or something. From there, I don't feel we had really world-class supplier. Maybe we had few multinationals, Bosch or something. But today, I have seen the humble start of many of them. Motherson, Mindas of today, Sona, JBM. You can take name of even Lucas, Rane. And today, they are second to none in the world. Lumex, they are second to none.
And that list goes on and on and on.
Yeah. They are dealing with diversity. They are supplying to, many of them are supplying to any multinational. There are many of them, without them lines don't run. They were open to learn from across the world. And Indian automotive industry is even more this thing, because I think one thing unique is that we have OEMs from across the world in this thing. There is no other country like this. America is dominated by either American auto players or Japanese.
Right.
Okay. Europe has first European and then supported by something. Even China doesn't have like Japan in a big way. But in India, you have from all walks of life. And we have learned that this thing and our usage and terrains and those things and weather and all those things puts another challenge. This thing.
They have really changed, as you say, and the ecosystem in manufacturing has gone from its strength to its strength. So while it started with say low volume, low value machining, it has now started to move up in the value chain from low volume, low value to now high volume and high value machining, and that becomes the bedrock and foundation for many sectors, not only automotive sectors. Because as we know that there are opportunities in India in a variety of sectors, in sector that requires mass manufacturing, such as consumer electronics, where people are going to make phones, laptops, lots of consumer electronic item, ACs and all, to a high-tech sector such as where they will be making fighter planes, the engines and the commercial planes, to the defense, to the medical. So how do you see the other sectors really flourishing, and what these sectors can learn from our journey in automotive?
So my belief is that manufacturing operations is product agnostic. Okay, it's a set of beliefs, it's a set of practices, behaviors which differentiate, no? And I think they are applicable. Most of the things are applicable for all this thing. It's not automotive or this thing. Second is that leadership. If you see even the new things coming, I mean tomorrow like aero, defense and all those things, there will be many companies which are today doing in an engineering or auto will get into it. Most of these companies, whether they are auto OEMs or tier 1 suppliers and all those things, till very recently they were mainly working on designs coming from outside and just manufacturing. Today they have engineering houses, product development houses, R&D houses. Okay. So we can design our own products, we can find our own answers, and this will go to them also. And I mean there are many things common. The metal use is same, the press behaviors are same, limiting is same, welding is same, processing, most of the processes, castings, forgings, machining, I mean basic processes are same, no? Okay. It's a product which has to be made to this. So I don't feel, I mean the cross learnings will always be there. I mean aero will teach perfection, defense will teach that at the time of requirement the machine has to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
As we were talking about that, we have come a long way since our independence in last 78 years, and as we discussed, we have a long way to go as well, from number 4 position as an economic powerhouse to become number 1. So what do you see as the key leadership behaviors that will take us there?
A bit difficult question, but let me attempt. I think we talked earlier also, raising our ambitions and targeting for big, targeting to win, play to win, these are going to be most important things, and then things can follow. I remember old days, there was nothing much to really as hobby or this thing, and listening commentary was something very, very critical for us, cricket commentary. And I remember 1975 when first Prudential Cup happened in, I think it was Great Britain, some oval or London. And there was a match which maybe the first match, one-day match played by India. And that was with England. And it used to be 60 overs match that in those days. And if what it was in England, so I think around 4 o'clock it used to get on you can hear on radio because TVs were not there. And I remember England, I don't know whether they won the toss or no, but they went for batting first. And in those 60 overs, they made 336 runs. How many wickets they lost, I don't remember, but 336. And India was supposed to play second. And to my shock, the match ended with India making 134 runs, playing all 60 overs, and we had only 3 persons who have lost their wickets. So we were 134 for 3 in 60 overs. Mr. Gavaskar used to be our leading player. He was on the crease for 60 overs, not out with 34 runs. So that was this thing, no? And second experience of 1983, when I think it was third or fourth match of India, and I believe it was also in London only for Britain. And there was a time when India was 17 for 5. They were playing first. And 17-5 for 5 looks really bad. And Kapil Dev comes to bat. He was not recognized that much at that time. And he went out and plays for 175 runs and not out. And takes to 256 or 266. And then Zimbabwe plays and they were out and India won by 20-30 runs. So, these two behaviors. One behavior was that we were not trying to win. Okay. There could have been possibility that we would not have even made 133 runs and we would have played 15-20 runs and we all got out because we were trying to chase 5 runs or 6 runs and over, and that was the only way you can win. And could have given chance to the next person to try or this thing. So even if we would have lost, that loss would not have been too bad, no? And see the other thing, Zimbabwe, you are playing first inning, okay? Somebody has to follow. So there is no target you are chasing, okay? And you are at 17.5. Normally you will play to caution, say that we have long to wait, so let 15-20 overs I will go slow and then I will see, and then let's see that can we still get 150 runs or 200 so that it becomes a target to really give our bowlers a chance to Zimbabwe, and then say no, let me put my all best effort to really win the game here itself. So these two instances, no, I think this is a very good example of how leaders can really change the game. Okay, and I believe that will be required going further, no.
Yes, it's an important point, because whether you lose good or whether you lose bad, loss is a loss. Whether you lose by 1 run, whether you lose by 20 runs, whether you lose by 200 runs, loss is a loss. So the key message is how the change in the mindset, I think the change in the mentality to go for a kill, to go for a win. And as we were talking about that, the time has come in for India to take that leadership position, to take that pole position that it rightfully deserves, whether it becomes a manufacturing in so and so field, whether into something else, but playing to win there. And look at now, I think after 1983, we have won one more 50 over World Cup, we have won two T20 World Cups, and we have the most powerful league in the world. And that, I believe, as you said, is a landmark moment for India to become the superpower in cricket. And likewise, that is the kind of leadership that will be needed to take India into the powerful league of, whether it is economic powerhouse or manufacturing powerhouse, those are very much related. So I think it is very important. It is very important, as you said. And other thing is that we always need to have hope. The leaders always would need to have hope that we can do that. We don't know how do we do that, as your example of making 4001 car while there was a big fire. Did not know how to do that, but there's a hope कि हम कर सकते हैं. So how do you see that happening? Because that's a very important trait that will be needed.
Yeah, so that, I mean, we have to change our way we look at ourselves. We have to have more self-belief.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that the world will become, I mean, we will not have problems. We have to learn to ourselves, to how to manage ourselves in this ambiguous world,
Yeah.
We will have ambiguity, we will have loneliness, we will have shocks, okay? We will have time management issues. There will be change in technology, there is a change in customer this thing, and then on top of it, there will be shocks coming, as earlier shock came about shortage of semiconductors. Now there is a shock of that the rare earth magnets not there. So these things will come, and each time we get a shock, we should really look around and say what all can go wrong in those areas and how we strengthen ourselves. So we need to keep on strengthening ourselves.
So I think as a summary, we could say that from what you said, self-belief, mindset, and playing to win will be the key behaviors that will be needed to get into the next, say, half a century or century, to take India as a number one powerhouse in manufacturing and as economic and as a nation as well. So I think that also brings to the another point is, end of the day, it will about to persevere.
Yeah.
To keep at it, because that is important, to keep the hope alive. Because to keep the hope alive, you have to be at it. You have to persevere. And how do you see the role of perseverance?
So we have to learn as leader to take responsibility, and as you rightly said, that we can't allow hope to go. I mean, hope is very precious. It has to be there.
Yeah.
We have to find different ways. We have to adjust, improvise, redirect continuously. Okay, it's like marathon, no?
Yeah, it's a marathon. It's
a journey. I mean, it never ends, no?
It's a journey. We have to at it for years and years. इसको बोलते हैं ना, हमको गेम में टिके रहना पड़ेगा. अगर हम टिके रहेंगे और वो होप रहेगा, तो we will be able to achieve that. So I think as we were talking about the opportunities for Indian manufacturing, be in the space of automotive, aerospace, medical, defense, consumer electronics. There's an ample amount of opportunities. And as you also talked about the enablers, key enablers like technology. So what do you see the role of technology in Indian manufacturing sector to help them to scale faster, produce quality, and be more efficient?
No, so what has changed? I mean, the world has become more competitive. People are coming for better and better answers, and you need to adjust very fast. And a lot of need for customization and all those things. So I think that connected enterprise thought, and which many companies are going for, is helping them on customization, real-time decisions. Okay, I mean, you're able to, you don't have to wait, you just get something and then take decision. Your speed is becoming better, okay, and visibility to various situations is better. You can plan your scenarios and all those things. Second is smart manufacturing levers, what we have got. IoT, which helps in no fault forward, immediate situation coming in front of you, immediate reactions, digital twin, sensors. I mean, today we have sensors at very low cost, which can be used very effectively, even for, I mean, if I have a machine and my output quality depends on chattering or vibration, and if I have a sensor which can measure it and stop it. I mean, there are cases where the change of oil or something people don't do based on recommendation, but they see on, you have sensors to measure where we are and take a decision. So this real-time decision making better. And then automation is helping in a big way. I mean, being in India, I don't say that we have to automate everything and we go to West Way or something where situations are different. But there are areas where if you don't automate, okay, you lose the competitive edge. I mean, I will take example of car finish, the paint and all those things. If I keep on doing manually, my car will never look that good. The paint I am consuming, it will be much use, much more than if I have robotic or something. We put sealer around the car. So if I have vision camera, which is first checking the route and then deciding how much to put and where to put and all those things, my car become more silent. So there are many examples in industry which are related to safety. There can be on a big line, there is one machine where capacity constraint is there. Okay, and if I put a higher automation there and increase my capacity, the whole capacity will up. So there will be ample of examples, or very, very environment, very unsafe areas to work. And if we just keep on working on that, so to get scale, to get returns. So I mean, we'll have to take very judicious decisions, okay, and move this thing. And because we have pocket of excellence, we have experience, we understand now where to apply, how to apply, will be this thing. We should be ready to keep on learning about new things which are coming, additive manufacturing, and this thing, and then decide, take a call when to do it, when not to do it.
And while doing that, we also will have to ensure that this is simple, and practical to be able to implement. What do you think?
Yeah. So simplicity is, I think, one of the most important thing. One is that don't try to adopt something before really understanding it, before ability to manage it. And sometimes answers can be very simple. I've lived in Delhi in my young days, and I remember that water was an issue and we used to have hand pump. And in the morning, there was always a struggle that who will pump water out of ground and all those things. And later I realized that hand pump can be easily converted into a seesaw, when I saw somewhere doing, and children sitting on a seesaw and then automatically pumping happening, and it became a game.
Right.
Similarly, I mean, those pictures of Indians, that incredible India, a lady with a big utensil on head and hard life and all those things. And I think which company came with an ad that water can be put in rollers and they can be rolled on ground or something. So there can be answers very simple, and your behaviors have to be simple. Your ability to give control to others so that you can spend time on doing things which generally are not done. So how do you delegate? How do you involve people? How do you align people? How do you keep on aspiring them? And these will be there, no? So
I think it's a great line. To get control, you have to lose control. We keep forgetting about this. We always want control, but the principle is that you have to first let go. You have to first understand how to let go, and the key thing as we do all of these things is to remember that it all starts from people and at people. What do you think about that?
I mean, the most important thing in everything is people.
Because there's a danger when we talk about automation and technology. I see a lot of worry on people's faces and companies and factory, it will take the jobs and things like that.
I think as long as you explain them the purpose and how it is going to add this thing, there will be situations that if I go for this technology or something, the product which I am making or the service which I am giving will not have competitive edge. I may lose everything.
Yeah.
So this thing, and ensuring that their interest will be protected. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
not at their loss. No.
Not at their, and that's a key thing. How it is communicated to everyone, that it is not at their loss, and that's where the challenge is, because the understanding of how it affects me plays a very important role in how anybody is looking at that piece of technology and that piece of automation. Related to people, another important aspect is environment, is sustainability, and is pollution. And as we continue to grow, it is important for India to continue its development towards sustainability and controlling pollution and be much more environmental friendly. What aspects do you think will become very important as we go forward, and what are the things that we should be doing?
No, so I think most important thing, entire thing is that we should grow, but not at some big loss. No. Okay. While we protect environment and this thing, we are energy deficient country. I mean, we have to import most of our crude and other thing, and we have problem of water also because of our population. So I think these are the two areas where we should have to be very, very careful. And then while we are doing this, how do we take care of pollution and all those things? And I think they are interrelated. If we really see, first let's talk about water. Okay. I think as industry, we should really focus on conservation, alternate ways of doing things, and pollution we should not allow of water and all those things. And take example, I mean, if I take example, I don't know how many years back, maybe 7-8 years back, when IPL was supposed to happen in Mumbai IPL match, and that was the time Maharashtra was undergoing water crisis, and there were bit of huge and cries and some questions around that during IPL you are putting so much of water and all that. We at Mahindra and some of our colleagues in manufacturing, we got worried because we have plants all across, and tomorrow people question that, and if water is not there, what we will do? And we thought of getting into the water conservation, then rainwater harvesting, making dams and this thing. And once we started, it was, if you do cost benefit analysis, it was not making sense. But if you see long-term relevance of those units there and all those things, it was making huge sense, and we went for it. And I remember some involvement of people and some efforts. We reached a situation that 270 days a year, we were not dependent on municipal water. We did this thing. So these are some examples where industry can contribute. Similarly, when it comes to energy, see, as a country, we went from normal lamps to fluorescent to LED. Today we have ACs which are current generation, which are far more efficient. We have motors. 70% of energy is consumed in factories in general at a high level through motors or something. And today we have answers which are 15-20% more efficient than what they used to be. Okay. We should take call to move on. While one way I said we are energy deficient as a country, but the other thing is that we have sun availability, which is this thing. And I understand one day of sun is able to run the entire world for 1 year.
Yeah.
So we have to learn how to harness, and a lot has been done in this area over the years. Similarly, even when I talk about water, our water requirement is 1/5 of what the rain is thing.
Yes.
Only thing is that it's not widespread, uniformly spread. There will be some area there it will be more this thing. So if we learn how to harness this, if we work more and more on water harvesting, creating tanks. I understand in Hyderabad used to be example when before 1947 that Nizam had put so many ponds across state, for this thing. And so there are answers where one has to work, and if we gradually work on this, this thing. And secondly, we have to really be worried about pollution, and whether it is air pollution or this thing, because it's going to be health result. A developed country with people struggling with not right water or this thing will not help. So how do we really work? And answers are there around the world. Okay. Fortunately, like we heard in Delhi, what is being talked about Yamuna, obviously results will come. Beijing is a very good example where pollution results have come. Okay, air pollution. So we have to be cautious about it, and we have to do all these things together. Because a great nation will not only be a nation with high GDP or per capita income, will be more equally important to have a place which is a good place, to healthy place to live.
And historically, India has been a country where health and happiness and satisfaction have always been at the top. And if you look at the yogas and meditations, where have they come from? Originally, they have come from India. So there's a hope. As we talked about, there is a hope. Of course, a big population and some of the scarcity in some of these ways has posed a challenge, but those will be resolved. And as you mentioned, some of the initiatives that we're doing. But the key point is to keep that as a part of the focus as well. We shouldn't be just thinking about we have to only double and triple our GDP, but at the same time, we have to ensure that how do we achieve the levels that we need to achieve the levels in these things as well. I had a privilege for a fantastic conversation over last 2 hours. Before we finish, I want to ask few questions that I think I want to know personally, as well as all our listeners would love to know. I want to start with by asking, what's your favorite pastime?
Bollywood songs.
The ice cream to die for.
I'm a kulfi man.
What's your favorite holiday destination?
I think Rishikesh.
What excites you about India's next decade or decades or centuries?
I think we are ready to take off.
And what's the biggest challenge, one biggest challenge that we should address?
We should always believe in ourselves and work on capabilities.
Vijay sir, it has been absolute honor and privilege to spend listening to you for last couple of hours. I must say it was an enriching experience. बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला. Honestly, I think बहुत सारे stories मुझे पता नहीं थी, and how does that relate to certain important messages मुझे एकदम नहीं पता था. मुझे बहुत सीखने को मिला, and I am very excited जब ये लोग सुनेंगे, when people they will listen to this podcast, उनको बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा. I'm also very much thankful to the team to put this together, to the researcher Renishaw who spent hours and hours researching about yourself and some of the stories, and to Sagar who put together all this show to, I think, make sure that how it gets to the people, and to Rahul to strategize and think about when to do that, why should we do that, and how should we do that. And I must also thank our Renishaw management as well, Paul and Sanjay sir, to really believe that such an initiative would pay a really important dividend. With that, I take privilege to thank you once again. Thank you very much, sir, for your time.
It's a pleasure. And again, thanks Renishaw entire team, leadership, and especially Rahul, Sanjeev, you and Sagar for what we have done together.
Thank you, sir.